Write sine 2 inverse cos 2 on 3 in the form a root b. So you obviously let alpha equal to cos inverse or inverse cos 2 on 3, cos both sides, you get cos alpha equals 2 on 3. From there, you get your right angle triangle. Alpha is there, adjacent, hypotenuse, 3 squared, take away 2 squared, is 5, so that becomes square root of 5. Any questions at this stage?
And there's some paper I can use it for
Yeah.
What EU extensions?
Alright, 2012, extension 1. Okay, and then of course, what are you trying to find? C. Sine to alpha. Required to prove or find, whatever. Easy, 2 sine alpha. See, yeah, that's why I get confused when you say I couldn't do it. There's nothing in here that you couldn't do. It's almost as if you didn't try it, you're just ignoring it. And I think you shouldn't do it, just give them a real good crack, because you said sine to alpha. Done. Done. 2 times sine, opposite over hypotenuse, times cos, which is obviously 2 on 3. And the question just says write it as a root b. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 over 9, 4 over 9, root 5. There's your a, there's your root, there's your b. Very easy.
So that a needs to be just simplified.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's the point. So that's it.
You don't have to do that. Stock standard, you just do it. Do the same thing. Every day.
Swedish was in a school thing.
Swear it was in the school.
Huh?
That's all.
This is the 2012 HSC. If you do exam papers, you will see they're exactly the same as the exam questions that you will get in your exam.
About 4 years.
Useless. I wouldn't do last year's paper because that means you're never going to see it again.
Like even plus for revision and I'll like half the they'll go into the half the questions in there aren't in
Okay. What's another one? Any other questions? Yeah. Concepts? Yes? No, sending. It's coming through.
The last one you tried to explain to me, but I was
Copy. That's good. If you guys have questions as well, just send them through.
Is that from my favorite?
Boom, boom, paste. All right, let's do it. Prove. 2 sine x minus, okay, nothing about it really. When I see this, I just think, just expand and fingers crossed. Here we go. I'm not going to really talk because I think you'll know what I'm doing. At this stage, like I said, literally, you have to just stop and think. Your right hand side is cot x, which is cos on sine, minus cos y, which is cos y on sine y. So I'm looking at what I've got, and I'm pretty happy. Because you know why? I'm going to separate it. That's what it's telling me to do. If I separate my denominators, it looks like this. 2 sine x cos y on negative 2 sine x sine y minus 2 cos x sine y on negative 2 sine x sine y, and then obviously cross 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 cross. That gives me negative cot y plus cot x. Again, I am only going to say it to you because you're the one that's giving the questions right now. I haven't done anything. I swear I didn't do anything. I don't know. There's nothing. The ones that you want to really ask me are the ones that are like, oh, you have to all of a sudden plus 1, minus 1, you have to be creative. Those ones are hard. This, as long as you try it, like I said, fingers crossed, it will work out. It should work. Okay, doesn't matter. Just keep that in mind. Anyone have any questions about anything I've done? Obviously, if you try to do from the right hand side and get to the left, I think you would have struggled because of the 2. Oh, but then you would have just divided everything by 2 anyways. Yeah, you could have also done that. If you guys stopped at this line here and decided to work on your right hand side, you would have got the left hand side anyways. That's fine as well. Okay, any questions? Let's go to the next question that she's got. Like I said, anybody else, if you've got questions, it's okay. If you've got a question, everyone's got the same question. They're good. It's fine. Paste. Maybe I'll give you guys just a minute or 2 to think about it. Maybe don't think about it too much, just do. You really just want to do. Let me see. What's the formula for tan? Novak, you're going to tell me. Tan alpha plus beta equals tan
Alpha
yes,
plus
yes,
tan beta.
yes, on.
Oh, 1 minus.
Isn't it amazing how you asked me the question and yet you answered it? See how I knew that? You guys got to learn to try. You see, he asked it and he answered himself. Don't do that. You guys, all of you have to learn something. Stop asking me or your friends questions. You've got to just do it because you'll be surprised with how powerful your brain is. It will recall it. Done? All right, then I'll start. This is tan alpha is x, tan beta is 2x. Oh, isn't it done? Tan alpha plus beta is just x plus 2x on 1 minus x times 2x. That was an easy one, actually. You knew the formula. Any questions? Next one. They're good because they're a little bit different. See? But this one, like I said, I'm pretty sure we've done this. If you guys have the videos saved of rates of change, and if you review it, we've exactly done this question. Yeah, someone remembers it? You remember it? Good. Don't know how to do it? That's a whole different thing. Sorry? 4. No, I can't be. No, it's probably last term. You mean term 2, but it definitely it wasn't here. It was in term 2.
That was online.
It was online.
So where are we going to hear on the board?
Maybe me and you.
Just because you don't remember doesn't mean you
Diagram.
I was the first one to
Distance.
Oh, wait.
What year? 2011? Hold on. 2011? Let's go up.
Within the reference.
2011. Question. Question 11. No, question 7, sorry.
We should have not all the
Can you find a way? Diagram shows two identical circular cones with common vertical axis. Let me just read. The rate is this, show this, easy, find the rate, easy, find the rate.
easy.
All right, let's hope so. Let's go. Have a read. The diagram shows two identical circular cones with a common vertical axis. Each cone has height h and semi-vertical angle of 45 degrees. So the height of this thing is also h. Sorry, the height of, not all that, just that cone there, like that, roughly that, is also h. Anyways, we continue, and it's also 45 degrees. The lower cone is completely filled with water. So this one's completely filled with water all the way. That's where you can see the little waves. The upper cone is lowered vertically into the water, and obviously what's going to happen? Water is going to go out. All right, spill out. The rate at which it is lowered is given by, that's rate, differentiate, right? So dl on dt is equal to 10, where L is the distance the upper cone has descended into the water after t seconds. 10, obviously you would say centimeters per second, for example. Right? As the upper cone is lowered, water spills from the lower cone. The volume of the water remaining is V. Show that V is this. So the water remaining is V. Okay, now, because it's question 7, you guys can't look at one mark as one mark. Sometimes a mark can be a page when you're at the end of the paper. So let's try this. Volume remaining. Okay, well the volume remaining should obviously be the volume that it originally had minus the volume of this bit up to L. We agree with that? Okay. So then volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. So pi r squared times height, obviously times a third. Any questions there? Okay, what do we know? Let's come up here. Hold on. We know this thing from here to here is h. Well, we know from isosceles triangles, if that's 45, your radius is also h. That's why, if you look at the formula I've written here, and the formula, the answer here, you can see it's h cubed. So r squared becomes h squared times h, which becomes 1/3 pi h cubed. Again, I'll just write it here. R is equal to h. You needed to know that, otherwise what's the point of the 45 degrees? Any questions? Okay, and then obviously the volume of the big cone, volume of small cone equals 1/3 pi r squared L, where L is your length here. But again, that's L. What should your radius be? Because if that's 45, this guy's also 45. So then your radius is also L. So then you're just going to get minus L cubed. And I think you guys can see that, hopefully. Anyone have any questions? Therefore, volume remaining.
So you just literally write
Yeah, pi on 3, h cubed minus L cubed. Simple? Any questions? Zero questions. Double I. Find the rate. What are we meant to do? At which V is changing with respect to time. So you're trying to find what? D what on D what? dV, correct, on dt. To find dV on dt, it equals to dV on something times d something. And what letter do we use? Obviously we use L because they gave you L. Deal. They gave you L, you use L. Make sense?
Yeah.
What's dl on dt? Well, 10. What's dv on dl? You're just going to differentiate this guy here, where h is a constant, because h doesn't change, does it? Does the height change of your original volume? No. Does L change? Yes. L is the thing that's getting dropped down. The change here, L is the distance the upper cone has descended. So L is your variable, h is just a constant. All right, good luck. I'll let you guys try double I without me interfering first. Okay, where are we? Let's see. What do we have? So far I've got dV on dt equals dV on dl. So we're going to differentiate this guy. So obviously your h, like I said, is a constant. So what do we do when we differentiate in constants? You ignore them. So when I expand this v, technically all I'm looking at is negative, hold on, let me just expand it. Pi on 3 h cubed minus pi on 3 L cubed, that's 0. So the answer should be negative 3 pi L squared on 3, negative pi L squared, L is 2, negative 4 pi. Easy? Times dl on dt, negative 40 pi. Any questions? Start it again. Should I start that again? Yes? Okay. dV on dt. All right, let's do dV on dl then. dV on dl. To do that, you need to understand that your volume is pi on 3 h cubed, which is just a constant, so you're ignoring that, and it's just pi on 3 L cubed that we're going to be differentiating. So that becomes negative 3 pi L squared on 3, which gives me negative pi L squared. But what do we know about the length? Length is, so then this becomes negative 4 pi. But we didn't want to find dv on dl, we wanted to find dv on dt. dv on dt is dv on dl times dl on dt. dl on dt is, where are we? 10 from above. That becomes negative 40 pi. Does that make sense? How do you know h is a constant? Because I can't differentiate 3 variables. So I knew something has to be a constant there, right? But if you go back up to the actual question, h is the only one that doesn't change. H is a constant. So that's something that won't be said to you explicitly. It's something that you have to just understand through doing questions. That particular case, your h is a constant. Does the height change? That's what you're going to look at. Is the height of your bottom cone ever going to change? No. Is the height of the top cone ever going to change? Also no. The height doesn't change. L is changing because L is the distance that it's moving down. Does that make sense? Which just so happens to be the height of the cone, of the upper cone, at that point. So yeah, h is the constant. All right, any other questions? And then I says find the rate at which V is changing with respect to time when the lower cone has lost 1/8 of its water. So I, again, find the rate, again find dV on dt. When the lower cone has lost 1/8 of its water. So how much volume is remaining? Yeah, that's how you got to think about it. Because remember, we're doing volume remaining, right? We're not talking about here, the volume of the water remaining. There's something that would have tricked a few students. So VR, this one here, is equal to 7 on 8 of the original volume. That's going to be really weird. So give me a second. Again, just algebra. So find the rate at which the volume is changing with respect to time when the lower cone has lost 1/8. Give your answer. Okay. So V, volume remaining, originally is pi on 3 h cubed minus L cubed. Pi on 3 h cubed minus L cubed. Now, so it's lost 1/8. So now it is the volume now, let's call it, is 7/8 of the original. We agree with that? So then that becomes 7/8 of of pi on 3 and then h cubed minus L cubed. Or yeah, it's right. That's right. All right, and then what am I going to do now? Multiply it in. 7 pi on 24 h cubed minus 7 pi on 24 L cubed. Don't forget what you were trying to find. dV on dt. So now dV on dt is dV on dl times dl on dt. You already know what dl on dt is. That's still 10. dV on dl, come up here. dV on dl, negative, what did you say? 20? Now isn't it negative 21 pi L squared on 24? Yes? Negative 21 pi 21 pi L squared on 24. Now, the only thing I don't have is L. Find the rate at which V is changing with respect when the lower cone has lost an eighth of its water. But what do we know? Sorry? Hold on. Let me just think. I need a relationship somehow. I'll give you an answer in terms of H. Oh, good. All right, very good. So, L, I need a relationship between L and H. And what do we know? What do we know? I know. Say that again. No, that doesn't make sense. That's volume you're thinking of. You can't bring volume with length. Give me 1 sec. Let me think. If anyone knows it, let us know. L relationship between H and L. What was it again? Find the rate. The lower cone has lost an eighth of its water. So that means the volume. Yeah, no, but that's R for a small case. That's small r. Not the same R, like R1, R2. But yeah, let's go back up. You're right. Maybe I should just look at the question again. No.
H and
No, yeah. One sec. One sec, let me see. H and L. H and L, so L and H must equal to no. Oh, no. It's probably the way I did the eighth. Find the rate at which V is changing with respect to time when the lower cone has lost an eighth of its water. That means the volume of... Oh, hold on. If I've lost an eighth of water, doesn't that mean the volume of the bottom cone is equal to an eighth of the bigger cone? Oof. Think of it. Think of it. What I just said there. One more time. If I've lost 1/8 of the water, I just said the volume of the smaller cone is equal to an eighth of the volume of the bigger cone. Now we just found a relationship. I know, but I did say question 7.
This question will take a second question.
Now, this year, but next year, what
what's
is
that, 6 months? Yeah.
volume of small?
That's a shame.
So volume of small is what? Pi on 3 L cubed. Pi on 3 L cubed must equal to 1/8 of pi on 3 H cubed.
Cool.
That's it. And then you have a relationship now. Pi and pi cancels. 3 and 3 cancels. So then you get 8L cubed is equal to H cubed, and therefore H is 2 times L. Or the other way around. L is H on 2. And you're just going to sub it in. Yeah, so this L is now H on 2. So the answer is negative 21, which simplifies. L, what did I say? H on 2 times 10. So 210 on 4 times 24. That's it. Oh, you guys don't need to look at the rest. 210 on 4 times 24. 35 on 16 apparently. So negative 35 H squared on 16 with a pi. Those of you who are looking at this, laughing, going, holy crap, what you got to remember, this is not obviously a band 5 question. It's not 80, it's not 90, you're talking about 98, 99, 100. So,
This is a prelim.
no, this is, obviously this is HSC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it can be asked in your prelims. You got to understand that.
Yeah.
Never say never. That's what I've learned. Never say never.
Even if we have to touch base and change in our concept.
Oh no, then that means of course it won't be in the exam.
Exams 2 hours. I made it 2 hours.
2 hours instead of an hour and a half.
Attendance.
Nice, thank-
Whoa,
Oh my god.
what are you gonna do? Oh,
You
God.
offer.
All right. Questions, please. What else? No one sent anything else? Any other questions?